Imagine factories that can, think for themselves. Machines that actually predict when they're going to break down.
Mm.
And entire supply chains just optimized by data. It sounds like sci-fi, but it's really not anymore. It's Industry 4.0.
Exactly.
And today we're doing a deep dive into how this whole revolution is just fundamentally reshaping industries. Globally, yes, but also looking specifically at places like Pakistan. Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, let's do it.
So at its heart, we're talking about a mix of things, right?
Yeah.
Like artificial intelligence, the sort of brain that learns and decides things.
Right. The decision engine.
Then there's the Internet of Things,
Uh-huh.
basically devices chatting with each other, advanced automation machines doing more complex stuff on their own, big data analytics, making sense of all this information flooding in, and, well, what people call smart manufacturing, where it all comes together, creating these super efficient, connected systems.
And what's fascinating here is that Industry 4.0, it's not just, a tech upgrade, it's a complete paradigm shift.
A whole new way of thinking.
Absolutely. For how we produce things, for supply chains, even how economies work. And for a country like Pakistan, getting on board with this is potentially a huge game changer.
A game changer. How so?
Well, immense potential for growth, for efficiency, boosting global competitiveness. It really just redefines what's possible.
It sounds groundbreaking. But are countries really doing this now, or is it still mostly theory? Like, what does the cutting edge actually look like globally? Here's where it gets really interesting.
Oh, it's definitely happening. Absolutely. Take Germany, for instance. They've been pioneers with their whole Industry 4.0 push.
Right, the smart factories.
Exactly. Focusing on these highly integrated smart factories. Think of it like, I don't know, a conductor leading an orchestra.
Right.
Every machine, every sensor, all the data, it's all playing its part, perfectly coordinated, by AI to optimize the entire process.
And the U.S., what are they focusing on?
The USA is investing heavily in things like digital twins. These are basically virtual models of physical things.
Like a virtual copy.
Pretty much. Imagine a virtual replica of a jet engine, right? Connected to the real one. Engineers can then simulate flight conditions, predict when a part might fail, like months before it actually does.
Wow.
I actually spoke to a manufacturing lead recently, and they said their new predictive maintenance system, it caught this tiny anomaly.
Just a small thing.
Yeah, based on analyzing a vibration trend, something that would have cost them days of lost production. It's like having a crystal ball for your machinery.
That's incredible. So it's not just fixing things quicker. It's like preventing the problem altogether. It changes everything about managing assets.
Exactly.
Fundamentally.
And China. We always hear about their scale.
And China is definitely leveraging that scale.
Yeah.
They're rapidly deploying automation, AI across these huge manufacturing sectors. But what's really insightful there is how they're not just automating tasks.
No. What else?
They're fundamentally redefining work itself, which forces this massive, national effort to reskill millions of people.
To avoid displacement. Precisely. It's a huge challenge, way beyond just boosting economic output.
Yeah.
It's about optimizing everything, from the factory floor right up to the whole value chain.
Okay, so Germany, the U.S., China. Fascinating examples of the big players. But let's bring this back home for our listeners. What does this all mean for Pakistan?
Yeah.
What's the situation there? With manufacturing, tech adoption,
Yeah.
what are the big hurdles they're facing?
So Pakistan finds itself at this interesting crossroads. There's definitely a push for tech advancement, but they face real hurdles.
Like what specifically?
Well, basic infrastructure, for one. Getting that up to speed, you need consistent, reliable power for automated systems, much more so than traditional manufacturing.
Right, can't have the robots stopping mid-task.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then there's a pretty significant skills gap in the workforce. Plus, you need massive investment to really modernize everything.
That sounds tough. Any bright spots?
Oh, yeah, definitely. We are seeing some promising local efforts, startups, some government initiatives starting to explore these technologies, laying some important groundwork.
Okay, so given those challenges, infrastructure, skills, investment, worship, how can Pakistan possibly, leapfrog into Industry 4.0? It sounds like a huge jump, almost like they need a secret weapon or something.
Huh. Well, that secret weapon, as you put it, it really comes down to collaboration.
Collaboration.
Between who?
This isn't something one sector solves alone. It needs a really strong partnership between the government setting the right policies, maybe incentives.
Okay.
Academia, they need to educate and train the future workforce for these new skills.
Makes sense.
And of course, the private sector. They're the ones who need to drive the innovation and make the investments.
Right.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, this kind of ecosystem, this collaboration, it's absolutely fundamental.
Not just for resources,
But also for fostering a culture of rapid experimentation, shared risk-taking. That's crucial if you want to leapfrog tech generations and get past that, systemic inertia. That's how they can really make strides in the next, say, 5 to 10 years. Right. So wrapping up our deep dive today, the key takeaways seem pretty clear. Industry 4.0. It's this massive transformation, right? Driven by AI, IoT, smart manufacturing. Globally, the leaders are already seeing huge impacts. Smart factories, predictive maintenance. And it's forcing big societal shifts like mass reskilling.
Absolutely.
And for Pakistan, yes, there are hurdles, infrastructure, skills, but also these incredible opportunities for rapid progress if, and it's a big if, they nail that collaboration piece, government, academia, private sector working together.
Which really raises an important question for you, the listener. If you're a business leader, maybe a professional, what specific things, like immediate actions, can you take?
Right now?
Yeah, right now, to prepare for or maybe even push forward the adoption of Industry 4.0 in your own world, considering the unique context you're in?
That's a great question to ponder. And building on that, maybe consider smart factories.
Right.
Is your industry or even your specific region truly ready for them? And what's the one critical step you think needs to happen first to bridge that gap? Something to think about.